welcome to this presentation of our work, Traveling Arts and HCI Sketchbook, which explores the intersection between artistic expression and human-computer interaction. My name is Denise Lengyel. I present on behalf of my 30-plus co-authors, who are researchers and/or artists in HCI. Please do have a look at the paper where you can find who they actually are and who they are. What we are doing with this work is carrying a torch for art in HCI, in a sense. And for those of you who are already working with arts in HCI and who think I am preaching to the choir, hi, hello, and thank you for carrying the torch with us. The next slide is going to show you a little bit of the motivation, why we think this torch carrying is still necessary. It's feedback that I personally have gotten whenever I mention that I work with arts and that my main interest in HCI research is in the use of arts. I have been told that we don't need drawing because everything can be said with words. Everything can be expressed with words, either written or spoken. I have been told to do what others do and focus on sketching in HCI design. And I've also been told that I don't do research. And I don't think this is, especially the latter, is specific to arts-based research. Some qualitative researchers might have heard that as well. I did as well. But I think this shows that there is still some torch carrying to be done. Establish arts in their own rights as a way to do research in HCI. Do we always owe an explanation of why we're doing what we're doing? And do we always have to justify us to people who might not share our philosophical worldview or our view on arts in HCI? Not necessarily, but what it did for me and what it did for others as well is that it makes you question what it is you are doing, and that it makes you reflect rather. So what does arts in HCI really look like? What does it mean to researchers? And we had a similar discussion in our Seikai chapter called Arts in HCI. And by we, I mean the first three authors of this work, which are Makayla, Lewis, Miriam, Sturdee, and me. And we thought, well, what would be the first step? How can we illustrate what arts in HCI means for us? And then take it from there and explore and make known and investigate the fields of arts in HCI. With Miriam and Makayla both being vivid sketch noters, the idea that came to us is that we could do something similar as to a project that they've already participated in, which is a traveling sketchbook by the Sketchnote Army, which is held here by Mauro Toselli, who brought it to life, who initiated it, which collected sketch notes from over a certain period of time from sketch noters from all over the world. So we decided to put out a similar call for our colleagues, for HCI researchers, research students, practitioners, artists, to use any format that they wanted to reflect on what arts in HCI means for them. We reached out to people we knew and we didn't know, and also hoped to network through this whole experience. And we received many beautiful submissions. I'm not showing them here in detail because I would really like you to look at them. They're in the PDF. They're on a Mauro, linked from the PDF. And I want you to go there and explore on your own and from your own volition. And because it is interesting for some of us to also show where the contributions come from, they come from a wide variety of countries. They came from Canada, the US of A, Iceland, UK, Ireland, Sweden, Finland, Portugal, Italy, France, Israel, China, and the Russian Federation, and Australia. What did we do? We looked at the data and we used affinity diagramming to analyze it, and then went through a thematic analysis. I don't want this to be the focus of the presentation here. So if this is of interest to you, and maybe if you would also engage in the question of how to analyze visual artifacts and processes, and how that might differ from qualitative research and be its own arts-based research paradigm even. So if you're interested in any of these things, please go have a look at the Mauro, look at how we analyzed it, and do get in touch. So it's the Mauro, I should say, for this is also linked in the PDF. What I'd really like you to do, and I said that before, is to ignore me. Like everything that I say here, you can read in the paper, and you can go back to it anytime or to this recording. What I'd like you to do is ignore me, to go, well, not right away, but to ignore me by scanning this QR code, going to the Mauro that houses all these beautiful artworks and have a look, and to reflect yourself. What does arts in HCI mean to you? What does it look like to you? And if you don't want to do it now, you're welcome to do it now, but you can also do it afterwards, after you've listened to this talk. Take a pen and paper, take your favorite digital sketchbook, your favorite stylus, and do draw, or maybe even sculpt, or video record yourself. And let us know through arts-based expression, through creative expression, what arts in HCI means to you. I'll later on also include, if you don't want to upload it to Mauro, my email address, so you can also email what came of it. So feel free to ignore me. Everything, as I said, that I'll talk about is included in the paper. And if you don't, well, let's go along and have a look at what the main takeaways for us are, what we have seen with the artwork that has been submitted. What did we see about arts in HCI? Well, we've seen that they are being used in the whole research process. So not just for ideation and not just for sketching and design, but for reflection throughout, for dissemination, for data analysis. So arts-based artifacts were strewn and used throughout the whole research process. It was a great variety of art forms that we've seen, a plethora, a fruit salad compote of art forms and of mixes between those art forms. We've seen the use of writing and calligraphy, of drawing and painting, of cartoons and comics, sometimes even AI-generated ones, also AI-generated images that mix writing and drawing. We've seen dance and performance and music and some kind of theater play and all sorts of mixes in between. We've seen that as an arts engagement where something was presented to provoke and elicit a response, like we know from photo voice, for example. But we've also seen this as arts participation, where art was created and it was an embodied meaning-making process, an embodied making and communicating. And not just on the parts of the researchers, so it wasn't just researchers who were artists or artists who were researchers, so to speak, but also participants were included in this. So it's participants' participation in the broader sense. We've seen all of this now. Do we know from all of these works and from this sketchbook now what arts in HCI really does and what it means and does for researchers? No, but it's been a first step. And we've also done other work. If you look at our publications that we've done over the years, that is connected to this. And one thing that particularly is interesting to me is that I would like to know what different art forms can do differently. What can they help us to express? So that in the end, we answer the question of if and why they should be used, with whom and in which context, and so on. Rather than just thinking they'll work equally well for everyone. What was also important for us is to say, well, there is equal representation we're trying to do with this work, that we're showing arts as a method in HCI is here to stay, and it is to be found in various places of the research that we're doing in various processes. What we are also trying to say is that for contributing artists and for the artworks, there should be equal representation. And we don't just mean that in terms of acknowledging if someone's produced something for you and to make that clear in the project and the presentations and the disseminations. It's not just about going out there and saying that, but it is also that art is more than just illustration. It is more than to just complement text. It's more than a supportive role. It's a constitutive. It's a constitutive part of research. It's part of the research. It is the research. So that is something that we want to stress with this as well, and why the majority of our paper is actually, or of this sketchbook, is actually the artworks themselves and not our writing.